Hello everyone, thanks for joining me. In this video we have like a mini collection to talk about. Natasha Denona put out a beautiful berry lip and cheek type of collection. So we have a little berry pop cheek trio palette. Yes, when I hear berry, I'm all ears. I received this collection in PR and very, very excited about it. So we've got these two cheek colors in here. One says cream blush. It's a very different kind of formula. It feels super duper thin, but ultra pigmented. The next one is called Tinted Glow Cream Base, and that one feels, I guess, more like what you would expect a traditional cream blush to feel like. And then we have a highlighter in here too. And then also part of this collection, there's a lip pencil and a lipstick. This is the overall look. You'll notice there wasn't a specific eye palette released with this. It's all about the lip and cheek, which I kind of love. So in this video, you're gonna see these products going on, but also I feel like I found some dupes. And I'm not trying to take anything away from this. I think this is a gorgeous product, just a gorgeous looking product in the packaging. Might make an awesome Valentine's gift or something like that. But if you're just all about the colors on the inside and you want to duplicate the look, I do have some affordable options. From all the cheek colors to the lip liner, the lipstick, we've got options here, okay? So to start things off for you, I've got my base all done. I'll just let you know what I'm wearing. I've got on my L'Oreal True Match Nude Hyaluronic Tinted Serum, which I wear in light 2-3. I'm wearing my e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, and that's in light peach. I set that today with my Laura Mercier Ultra Blur Loose Powder, so I've got that on like under eye and T-zone. True Match Lumi Bronze It in the deep shade, so this is a slightly glowy bronzer. I went ahead and filled in my brows. Today I used my Gwen Stefani Hella On Point Ultra Fine Brow Pencil, which I wear in the shade 4. And then I used this stuff from Too Faced, the Fluff and Hold, just to kind of get them standing up a bit more, trying to somewhat mimic that dewy, really defined brow that I saw in the picture. And then for my eyes, as I was looking at this look, I thought possibly a little bit of blush was maybe taken into the crease. So I just ever so lightly used some of this shade. I just put it on a crease brush and super softly took that through the crease and then dabbed a little bit of highlighter on my lid and on the brow bone. And then I applied mascara. And now we're ready to move into the cheek stuff. So this trio, again, it's beautifully packaged. I love the magnetic closure on this. I love how solid the little compact is. And they referenced in the write-up how it's a cranberry hued twist on her iconic mauve My Dream cheek trio. Remember when that came out? It had like the nude packaging. Well, now we've got these kinds of tones to play with. And as I've been playing with this and testing it out, I kind of like working left to right. So I'll put on the deepest shade first, kind of get that blended in. Then I can put as much of this sort of glowy, almost slightly warm color on top. See how it's a little bit peachy? Really makes a nice pairing with the more reddish blush. And then we've got this gorgeous highlight that's just very reflective and glossy looking. First thing I'm gonna do Natasha Denona on this side. We're just gonna go right into that rosiest one called Cream Blush. I'm using my Sephora 56, and I'm just gonna start taking that all on my cheek area, kind of the side of the cheek. I'm trying to keep it lifted and up. See how that's amounting to a really cool rosy cheek? Could it go more intense than that? Absolutely. You got a whole range with a color like that. If you're a deeper skin tone, you could easily put on more than this and get more of a color payoff going on. I'm gonna now wipe that brush down and I'm gonna take you to my dupe. The Natasha Denona texture there is very unique. It doesn't feel like an all-out cream. It really doesn't feel like a powder either. It's just this very pigmented blush substance. And to duplicate the texture, you have to find something that's really just not too creamy, but yet is still technically a cream blush formula. So I looked into my e.l.f. putty blushes. This is the one called Caribbean. And if you look at those together, you can possibly see how they would amount to the same kind of look sheared out on the cheeks. So I'm gonna dab into this with my Sephora 56, get a little bit of color on there, and just start working this into my upper kind of outer part of the cheek. And see how we're shearing out to be that same cool, soft, rosy berry vibe? Just like Natasha Denona, this one has range too. I'm putting it on pretty light there, but it could definitely go darker, more intense. It's buildable, and it just mimics the look pretty well because this Natasha Denona shade is just like pure pigment, and this is basically as well. It's not mixing in any shimmer with that shade. We're just seeing that rosy reddish color. I'm adding just a little bit more. Okay. We clean off the brush again, and we're gonna go back to this trio and look at this shade called Tinted Glow Cream Base. Again, a totally different texture. It feels more like a traditional cream blush. And as we dab it on, you can see like it's pinky, but it's got a little bit of a warm sort of sheen mixed in. Like you look at it in a swatch and you're like, okay, I see the pink, but there's also like a soft coral somewhat mixed in. But then ultimately on the cheeks, see how it's looking quite pink? But I'm letting that come more to my apple because I want to see that glow catch the light a bit more. So that's the placement I kind of like with it, but you do your thing, whatever you like. But you see how the apple of the cheek there now looks like it's just kind of radiating color? Really, really pretty. Okay, we're taking that brush and we are just wiping that thing down. And I have another dupe for this from e.l.f. I looked into my luminous putty blushes. So yes, e.l.f. has those two formulas, and in the luminous, this shade called Bermuda is so similar. So we're seeing the pinkiness, but if you look at it in a swatch, you can actually see a little bit of that warm, almost corally shimmer mixing in. So we're gonna apply this with the Sephora 56, get a little bit on there. Again, starting it kind of right in here on the apple of the cheek. We wanna be able to see that glow, and then just kind of pull it up on top of the rest. And I was just really pleased to find something so similar where I could put it on and I felt like I was getting that pinky rosy flush, the same kind of finish. Obviously it doesn't feel quite as luxurious as this compact, but it's giving you the same look. And then this was the easiest thing to dupe, this highlighter, because it immediately made me think of my Revlon Skin Lights in the shade Daybreak Glimmer. Same kind of little goes a long way glossy shine to the cheeks, but yet it's a powder finish. So we're gonna use some of this Real Techniques setting brush, go into the Dream Glow, it's called, and I like to put my highlighter kind of right down under the eye and see how we've got that dewy glow, and then we can blend a little bit here. I want to see some of that come up to the forehead as well. Isn't it just funny how each added layer of the cheek, it's just like up a notch, up a notch, up a notch. I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm really not wanting to take anything away from this beautiful palette, but it just inspired me to look into some of the other things I do have that are really not too far off. So now we've cleaned off the brush, you know, we wipe it down and we go into our Daybreak Glimmer from Revlon, the Skin Lights range. Get a little bit on there. Again, I like to focus it right in here, and look how we've got that same level of brightness, the same type of shimmer that gives us almost a dewy, is her cheek a little bit wet type of look. That's what we want. Any extra can blend up a little bit. We can get some up here. One side to the other, I mean, I'm just thrilled with how similar these look. If I could do one thing, would I add just a little bit more of my original shade over to this cheek? I think I went a little light with that e.l.f. This is so good. I'm so happy with this. This is all amounting to a great in from the cold type of cheek. So yay for that. Look into e.l.f., look into Revlon. Now on the lip liner, we have a beautiful lip liner here, and the shade from Natasha Denona is called P8 Berry Pop. Really smooth, beautiful lip liner, and I'm gonna go over half of my lips with this, okay? So it goes on with ease. And what is the color actually? I'd say it feels like kind of a deepened rosy shade, rosy red. The berry in this collection is not your purpley berry, it's a real reddish berry. So we'll just put that on half. There we go, there's our rosy reddish berry. And then the color that I have that totally mimics that is from Essence, and it's the Stay 8-Hour Lip Liner. It's waterproof. This does last a super long time. I've been very impressed with these. The shade is called Honest, and it's just a retractable lip liner, and as you're gonna see here, I'm gonna get in so you can really tell. And fills in every bit as easily, maybe if not even a bit easier. And then for the lipstick, this is a really stunning lipstick from the outside in. You know how we feel about magnetic closures. You look at the stick. We've got a beautiful berry color here, and it's a cream. It gives a little bit of a shine to the surface, okay? And I found this very hard to duplicate. I did find a shade ultimately that I thought was pretty much dead on, and it's from Milani, and it's the shade called Tuscan Toast. However, you start doing some digging on this color online and you can see it's maybe a little hard to find. Like, you'll find it on Amazon, but it's not like Milani's keeping this as a big fixture of the line. But it totally mimics the texture and that kind of finish that the Natasha Denona one has. I feel like that swatch, I went over it a couple times there, so it looks just a little deeper, but the shade is pretty on point. But then I'm like, I need to recommend something that can get that same shade but is more readily available. So I have a matte, and this is the Revlon Color Stay Suede ink. The shade is called Want It All. One of my favorites from this line. I'm gonna swatch it like this is my Natasha Denona. I'm gonna put this one right over here. And I felt like this really got the color right. It just doesn't have the shine. Okay, at this point we're just throwing out options, right? Also from L'Oreal, the color called Blushing Berry. All around softer, okay? It does have a cream finish, it does have a little bit of shine, but it's just a little bit softer with the color intensity. I'm gonna put this directly under the Natasha Denona. There's that right there. Honestly, in this lighting, the way I'm looking at things, looking in the camera, that one looks real close. So I think there are definitely some options out there. And truth be told, if you like this look, you know, we're not all getting under a microscope saying, how close is it? We're just, you know, we're wanting a similar look. So what I'm gonna do is layer my Natasha Denona on this side. There we go, we're just gonna put it right on top, halfway. Okay, it really copies the shade of that lip liner so much. And then I think I'm gonna take the L'Oreal, the Blushing Berry, and I'm gonna hit that over this side. There we go. Left to right, it's looking really similar. Again, a matte option is Want It All from Revlon, and if you can find it, I feel like a really close match all around finish, color, everything, Tuscan Toast from Milani. And ultimately, end result is just a really chic look. If you're thinking about, you know, what kind of a look am I gonna wear for Valentine's Day? I think this is actually gorgeous because it brings so much life to the cheeks, which I think just gives the whole face a lot of energy and just a vibrant, healthy look. The lip is so stunning. It's not a full-on red, you know, it's got that depth. I think the berry element makes it feel more wearable to me. And it's just cool to know that there are some similar products out there if you're interested. And if you wanted to go more on the eyes, you know, maybe even just a little liner, a soft false lash might be pretty with this too, if you wanted to take it even further, but I'm really liking the way this is coming off. So thank you for your time, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this little kind of review dupe session, and I will see you all again very soon. I love you. Bye.